the bizarre love story of Carl Tanzler and Elena Hoyos. In the annals of history, few tales are as unsettling yet fascinating as that of Carl Tanzler, a man whose obsession with a deceased woman crossed the boundaries of love, science, and madness. This is the story of a man who defied death, morality, and reason to keep his beloved by his side, even as her body decayed. Who was Carl Tanzler? Born in Germany in 1877, Carl Tanzler, later known as Carl von Kozel, was a radiologist with a flair for the eccentric. After training in Australia and working aboard ships, he eventually settled in Key West, Florida in the 1920s. There, he became a respected figure at the U.S. Marine Hospital, known for his technical skill and peculiar personality. Tanzler claimed aristocratic heritage, often dressing in outdated formal attire and spinning tales of his noble past. But beneath this facade lay a man driven by delusions of grandeur and an obsession that would shock the world. A fateful encounter. In 1930, Tanzler's life changed forever when he met Maria Elena Milagro de Hoyos, a 21-year-old Cuban-American patient suffering from tuberculosis TB. At the time, TB was a death sentence with no cure available. Elena, described as strikingly beautiful, captivated Tanzler instantly. He became her primary physician, dedicating himself to saving her life. Tanzler's methods grew increasingly unorthodox. He administered experimental treatments, including radiation therapy and bizarre homemade remedies. Despite his efforts, Elena succumbed to the disease in October 1931. Her death shattered Tanzler. He paid for her funeral and commissioned an ornate mausoleum, claiming Elena's family could not afford it. Little did they know his intentions were far from honorable. The descent into madness. For 2 years, Tanzler visited Elena's grave nightly, often spending hours mourning. By 1933, his grief morphed into something darker. He stole Elena's corpse from the mausoleum, sneaking it into his home under cover of darkness. What followed was a macabre ritual of preservation and delusion. Tanzler used his medical knowledge to restore Elena's body. He reinforced her decaying skeleton with wire and coat hangers, replaced her eyes with glass orbs, and coated her skin in wax and plaster. To mask the stench of decomposition, he drenched her in perfumes and disinfectants. He even fashioned a wig from Elena's original hair, which had fallen out post-mortem. For nearly 7 years, Tanzler lived with Elena's corpse. He dressed her in fine clothes, slept beside her, and allegedly engaged in disturbing acts of intimacy. He told neighbors she was a mannequin or a sleeping beauty he was healing. Meanwhile, Elena's family, believing her body safely buried, remained unaware of the horror unfolding in Tanzler's home. The shocking discovery. The truth came to light in 1940. Elena's sister, Florinda, grew suspicious after hearing rumors of Tanzler's odd behavior. She confronted him and discovered the grotesque truth. Her sister's corpse, partially mummified, propped up in Tanzler's bed. Authorities were called, and the story exploded in the press. Police found Elena's body dressed in a wedding gown, her face eerily preserved under layers of makeup. Tanzler was arrested but faced no serious charges. Necrophilia was not yet a crime in Florida. The public reacted with a mix of revulsion and morbid curiosity. Newspapers dubbed him the Deathless Lover, and crowds flocked to see Elena's body displayed at a local funeral home. Elena was finally reburied in an unmarked grave in 1941. Tanzler, now a pariah, fled Key West. He spent his remaining years crafting a life-size effigy of Elena, which he claimed contained her spirit. He died in 1952, still obsessed with his lost love. The dark truth behind the obsession. While Tanzler portrayed himself as a devoted lover, darker motives may have driven him. Investigations revealed he'd likely poisoned Elena to hasten her death, ensuring he could control her body. His journals detailed fantasies of resurrecting her through electrical treatments and cosmic energy, delusions rooted in his fascination with the occult. Psychologists later diagnosed Tanzler with erotomania, a delusional disorder where a person believes someone often unattainable is in love with them. His actions were less about love and more about possession, fueled by a fractured psyche, legacy of a macabre romance. Elena's body became a macabre tourist attraction. For decades, it was displayed in a glass case at a Florida museum, drawing gawkers until the 1990s. Today, her remains are privately stored, though rumors persist about their whereabouts. Tanzler's story has inspired books, documentaries, and films, often portrayed as a twisted Gothic romance. Yet it serves as a chilling reminder of how obsession can warp reality. Was Carl Tanzler a true lover or a deranged manipulator? The answer lies somewhere in the shadows between devotion and madness. Conclusion: love, death, and delusion. Carl Tanzler's tale defies easy categorization. It is a story of a man who rejected death's finality, bending science and morality to his will. Yet it is also a cautionary tale, a warning of how unchecked obsession can spiral into monstrosity. Elena Hoyos, a young woman cheated of life, became the centerpiece of a nightmare she never chose. Their love story endures not as a romance, but as a haunting lesson in the extremes of the human psyche. As we conclude this bizarre and chilling tale, it's impossible not to reflect on the dark extremes of obsession and delusion. Carl Tanzler's twisted love story with Elena Hoyos raises profound questions about the lengths to which some individuals will go to defy death and possess what they can never truly have. Though his actions were grotesque, his story serves as a chilling reminder of how love, when warped by madness, can blur the line between devotion and destruction. Thank you for watching the video. And if you found this story as unsettling as I did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more bizarre tales from history. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, sometimes the darkest stories are the ones that lurk in the shadows of the human mind.